All right, welcome to our Chain Gang team training call. Today is February 20th, 2018, and I'm so excited about the call that we have planned tonight. I'm Charlotte Pottiger, an associate director on our team, and this call is all about how to earn $1,000 a month with your Stella Dot side hustle. So this is all in the mindset that you are doing this on top of a full-time job, and maybe you have kids, maybe you don't. Either way, you have a busy life, a full plate, and this is something that you're layering into your life. But let's make it worth your while, right? Like, if you're going to do this, you might as well do it right and really earn the paycheck that you deserve. So think for a moment about what $1,000 would do for you and connect with your why. So if you've been around Stella and Dot for a while, or even if you're a brand new stylist that just joined, you've probably already caught wind of the fact that we talk about this all the time. What's your why? What's your motivation? Why did you decide to sign up? And why are you still here? It's so important to connect with that and think about what it is that's driving you and motivating you to keep moving your business forward. Otherwise, when those obstacles come about that are, they're inevitable, it can be easy to become derailed and just lose that motivation. But if you really have a clear sense of why you're doing this and what you want out of it, when you hit those little hurdles, you can always reflect back on that and get back on track. So why do you want to earn $1,000 a month? What are you going to do with that added income? Just take a moment to kind of think about that and imagine what that would do for you and your family's income. And I know I mentioned too on the description for the event leading up to this call, just thinking about it also on a yearly perspective. What would $12,000 in added income look like for your annual budget? So now that you've kind of wrapped your mind around that and gotten the wheels turning, let's just dive straight in on how to do it. So the basics. This business is really built on the foundation of personal sales. That's really how we make money, right? If there's no sales, there's no income, there's no commission earned. And the way that you really can maximize that and get the most out of this, and I heard this analogy, I've heard it so many times, and I heard it again today, is that it's easier to build momentum and keep it going in the same way that it's easier to ride a bike fast than to ride a bike slow. So kind of think about your business in that same way. And set a goal of $3,000 in personal sales each month. Now this is as simple as 3 to 4 style sessions, focusing on that in-home style session. That's really the heart of our business. That's where you're gonna just make the most quality connections with people, and that you're going to see the most sales. Of course, you can layer onto that an online style session or one-on-one personal styling with your repeat customers, shopping online through your personal website. But again, that in-home trunk show is always going to be, whether you call it a style session or a trunk show, that in-home event is going to be the best use of your time and the most efficient way to drive your business forward. You want to maximize each one of those trunk shows with the 40, 10, 3, 2, 1 system. And, we will open this up at the end, but we are going to be elaborating on more topics. So if you are like, what the heck is the 40, 10, 3, 2, 1? That would be maybe a great thing that we can go over in a future call. But it's really the system that we use to maximize each trunk show. It's inviting 40 guests with the goal of 10 attending, 3 outside orders, 2 trunk shows booked from that trunk show, and 1 stylist. So we can absolutely go over that in more detail later, which we certainly should. Such a good thing to refresh on. I even just now was like, what's the 3 stand for? And popped right into my mind. So it's always good to get a refresher. So for every one of those in-home style sessions, again, you want those 10 guests there with the goal of always $1,000 in sales. Share that with your hostess and build her wish list to reflect it. So if you think about that, if you're doing 3 to 4 trunk shows, the reason why I say 3 to 4 is because that gives you a cushion in case one cancels, or maybe one is just kind of a bit of a smaller trunk show. So that's going to really help you with, then adding on any outside orders to hit that goal of 3,000 easily. And why 3,000? Where is that number coming from? The reason why this is a great number to aim for each month is because you're going to be earning your power seller bonus. That is a 5% commission bump that you earn every month in which you sell $2,500 or more. So you might be wondering, Charlotte, why aren't you saying to go for 2,500 then? Well, because we don't want to go for minimums, right? We don't want to set the bar low. Let's give ourselves a nice, healthy cushion so that you can be prepared for any returns that you might receive and just not be scrambling at the end of the month to scrape in those last orders to get to 2,500. So go for 3,000. You're going to earn 30% commission on all of your sales for the whole month, which is going to give you $900 in personal sales commission. So right there, you're already almost at that 1,000, and that's just from your own personal sales. That is so amazing. And so doable. Then what are you going to do to get that extra $100? And just to highlight too, if you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I'm really digging this call, I'm into this info, I would love to earn $1,000 a month, but you know what, $1,000 a month isn't enough for me. I want more, Charlotte. Like, how can I do that? You can do that by, going even bigger with your personal sales. It's always going to be that highest percentage earnings. And for example, if you go for $5,000 a month, you're going to get another commission bump too, so that you're earning 32% on all of your sales. That's going to be $1,600 a month just from your personal commission. If you really want to go big and go for $10,000 in a month, it bumps all the way up to 35%, which is $3,500 in commission just from your personal sales. So just highlighting kind of what the options are that are out there for you and the potential. But again, going back to our topic for tonight, which is that 1K in sales, go for 3,000 to get to 900 in earnings. And then to top it all off and get that last $100 to get to your 1,000, you're going to layer in that sponsoring. Now, thankfully, because you're doing those in-home style sessions, this is going to be a no-brainer. You love this gig. Why wouldn't someone else? Offer it as a gift, offer it as a gift, knowing that many are going to say no, but in the process, you could find someone whose life you're going to change. And it really is amazing to see the impact that this can make on others. And part of that too is that, when it all comes down to it, our mission at Stella Dot is to give every woman the means to style her own life. So if we're not sharing it and talking about it and letting people know that this is an option for them, then we're just not doing our job. So if you're doing that, if you are doing those in-home style sessions 3 to 4 a month, you're meeting 30 to 40 women every single month. And if you are just following that system where you talk about it with every single hostess and you mention it in your group hello at your trunk show, and then find 2 or 3 people at each show that you're going to give an opportunity brochure because you're finding a connection with them that evening where you think that they might be great at this or they might really need something like this in their life. If you're doing that and following those steps and following up with them, you are just going to naturally find those future stylists and sponsor them. Since you're already selling 3,000 yourself, you're gonna promote to associate stylist, easy peasy, and beyond. Okay, so associate stylist, that's it's basically you and one other person, each selling $2,000 combined. So that person that's on your team has to do at least 500. But if you're personally already doing 3,000, you're already knocking out that whole team volume all by yourself, and you've just got to help that person that you bring along and show her what you're doing, how you're earning $1,000 a month, and help her do it too. And you guys are going to be smooth sailing well beyond associate stylist together. So the first month in which you promote to associate stylist, you will earn a $100 cash bonus. Then you'll so that's like a one-time thing. So in the first month that you promote to associate stylist, that's going to be extra exciting. You'll be beyond that 1,000 because you're also going to layer in coaching commissions. That's going to help you grow your paycheck. And I like to think about it as like this. So if you are doing this business by yourself and you're doing your thing, you're rocking and rolling, you're doing your trunk shows, How many trunk shows can you do at once? One, right? You can only do one trunk show at once. So if you start to layer in this sponsoring and helping other people do this with you, you can do as many trunk shows in one night as you have stylists on your team. So kind of wrap your mind around it that way, that, if, I'm on Jess's downline, so Jess can do one trunk show in a night in New York, and I can do one trunk show that same night in New Jersey. Now, Jess can't be in New York and New Jersey at the same time, but now it's connecting her to women through her team that she would never be able to meet otherwise. And so it's really an efficient way to work your business. And again, you guys are busy women and you have, places to be and things to do. So if you can make your business work more efficiently and also impact others and help them earn added income in their life, it's just such a win-win. So those are really the tactics and the how-tos of what to do and the actions and steps to take to get there, to earn that paycheck that you want. But the next piece that is just as important is to plan for it and cultivate your mindset. So what does that mean? So if you're going to plan for it, what you really want to make sure that you're doing is setting your office hours for high-value activities. If you don't plan it, it's not going to happen. And Casey Hughes on our team is such a great example of someone who's really embraced that idea, and honestly in the past month and a half has gained so much momentum. She decided that she wants to go for a certain goal, and she said, you know what, the time is going to pass anyways, and I'm busy, but if I really want this, I can carve out the time in my schedule and prioritize it and work to the level that I want to achieve. So she is just killing it and doing such a great example of that. So it's setting those hours, carving them out in our time. This is a flexible business, but whatever your goal is, it's not flexible if you're going to work or not. It's flexible when you're going to work, right? So set those hours. Of course, whatever's going on in your life, whether it's something comes up with work or something comes up with your family, of course you can shift those and adjust them, and that's the beauty of this business, but you're still going to do it and just get it done. And then ask yourself too, like with figuring out when you're going to be able to schedule in those trunk shows, those 3 to 4 trunk shows a month. Can you get out of the house once a week for some guilt-free girl time? You totally can. It is, so doable. And I always like to look at it like this. When you're figuring out your trunk show calendar for the month, can you go through your calendar and, put in all of your obligations, put in what's going on with work and family and social activities. And then can you find twice the number of windows of time in which you can do style sessions than you want? So for example, if you want to do 3 to 4, can you find 6 to 8 potential windows of time to do those style sessions? So schedule them out, circle those in your calendar, highlight them so you know what they are, and then just fill up half of them. And now it feels a lot easier. So you have options to offer people, and you know what your business hours are when you're reaching out. Then that way you kind of know when you're open for business. So it's always really tough if you're trying to book a trunk show with someone. If you don't know what your availability is, or you don't have a clear picture of what dates you're offering them, it's actually a lot harder to book a date, because you're just going to have all this back and forth and, oh, does this work for you? No, that doesn't, this and that, versus if you can just tell her, these are the dates that I have open. If you think about it, it's kind of like, if there's like a boutique and they didn't post their business hours, like that would be kind of weird. Like, how would you know when to go shop there? So think about it kind of in the same way. And then share your goal and your why. Get your family on board, or whether it's, you have kids, or whether you don't and it's just a partner, or whether it's your parents or, a sibling or roommates, but get those people that are in your life that are close to you behind your goal. You really want them on your team and cheering you on. And I think there's so many great examples of ways that you can involve your family too. So I've heard some really cool ideas of stylists who've set a certain goal and they'll share it with their family. And then they might even have like a tracker on their refrigerator that, maybe they have a sales goal, for example. And every time that they come home from a trunk show or every time they get an order, they let their young kids fill in that tracker so they get to participate. Virginia Hilton on our team, over the summer last year, she had some really big goals and was working towards helping to pay for a trip to Disney with her family. And, so her kids and her husband and everybody knew that's what she was working towards, and knew what that meant. And then it was so cool when she achieved her goal and actually exceeded it and was able to kind of like pay for some extras to make the trip like extra exciting. And she was so excited to get to share with her daughter and like tell her that, Mommy did really well with her business and hit all her goals. So I get to, you get to pick out a princess dress for your trip. So like, how cool is that? And just really getting to show your family the hard work and the effort and all the things that you're doing to achieve your goal. And when people in your life know why you're doing what you're doing, it just helps them get on board at that same deeper level that you're finding, and realizing like, it's not just this random, jewelry business, or like people like, well, why is she selling jewelry? Well, tell them why, get them on board. And then connect with your upline, share with her what you want out of this, and, have her there as a sounding board to track with you and work together. Connect with a pacing group. So anyone who showed up for this tonight, or anyone who's watching the recording, like, please let us know. We would love to put you in the like smaller pacing groups so that you can cheer each other on and share ideas and hold each other accountable towards your goal. And so lastly, with cultivating your mindset, on the note of accountability, remove failure as an option. You deserve this and you can do it. You took the time to listen to this call and to show up. You're showing up for your business, showing up for yourself. $1,000 is life-changing income. That's really impactful, and you deserve it. You should get it. There's nothing that others who've done it before you have that you don't have within you already. So you showed up for this, you can do it, and just go for it. I think that accountability piece and sharing and putting that goal out there is really what makes a huge difference and helps you stay on track towards achieving it. So that's all the basics. I would love to open it up at this point for any questions. Jess, if you have anything else that you would want to add. And then we also really want to hear from you too about what other topics you would like to have some training calls on in the coming weeks. We definitely want to go back to basics and refresh on some of the best practices and all the different pieces and components that you can brush up on or learn for the first time to maximize this game plan to help you earn that $1,000 paycheck. And thanks for tuning in.
So I just wanted to reiterate one of the points that Charlotte made. I remember when I first started, so I've been a stylist for 6 years, done it in multiple cities, different stages of life. And I know for a fact that the thing that I have the most difficulty with this business is time management. And I remember as a brand new stylist, that was the hardest part. And I think that having a calendar, so I have a paper calendar that I go through, so for instance, now it's mid-February, I'm going to go through my calendar now through the end of March, and I take a highlighter and I box out the days that I can do in-home trunk shows. Now the goal is to book all of those dates with actual trunk shows. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. But just kind of looking at your 6 weeks in advance or a month in advance and just really giving yourself opportunity to carve out that time, because all of a sudden you're going to blink and it's going to be Friday and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't do anything with my business this week. And then your business isn't going to build and you're not going to be able to start strong or even continue this great momentum that you have if you don't make time to do it. So I just kind of wanted to share that kind of side of the business. Like, I know it's a little overwhelming, especially when you have a full-time job or if you do have kids or whatever else you have going in your life. And that, I think, is like almost like a meditation, like sitting down and giving yourself 5 or 10 minutes with a cup of coffee and going through and seeing where you can work your business. So
Yeah, and I can definitely elaborate a little bit more on like when you set those office hours that you're going to do each week, and filling them with high value activities. I think I kind of like glazed over that. So that is really when you're going to spend the time doing those high value reach outs to book the shows that you want. So anytime that you are looking at a calendar and maybe you only have one trunk show or maybe you have zero trunk shows, and that's not helping you, that's not going to get you the goal that you want, right? That's just the fact of the matter. I am personally in that place right now. I'm looking at March and I have one trunk show booked that I finally booked yesterday. So I'm thrilled about that. But like one trunk show is not going to cut it for me for March. So sometimes at the beginning, when you're getting the momentum going, you have to invest a little bit more time to do like a lot of reach out to get your calendar where you want it to be. And then from there, it's kind of like if you compare it to, weight loss. If someone's trying to lose weight, you have, a more aggressive like eating plan and exercise plan. And then when you reach your goal weight, you go into like maintenance mode or whatever. So same kind of thing with this. So when you work harder at the beginning to get
Are you thinking about Glam Getaway? Is that why you just got that?
Oh, I just think it's a good analogy. Although I should be thinking about Glam Getaway. And then like from there, being able to fall into really like 10 reach outs a week. So, set those office hours to do the 10 reach outs and then follow that. We have the 10 for reach out and follow up plan that really works if you stick with it. It's one of those things that it snowballs. So if you just do it for like 2 weeks and you're like, this doesn't work, you just didn't give it enough time yet. It's going to keep the ball rolling and keep the momentum going. And then really maximizing those trunk shows. I actually think that would be a great call topic, would be maximizing your trunk show, because since you are busy and you are fitting this in on top of a lot of other stuff, you want to be really using the time that you're actually there at the trunk show to book your next trunk shows and to sponsor somebody, so that you don't have to spend as much extra time outside of the trunk show itself following up. So that's one of my goals for the next coming months, is to be more intentional about actually booking dates with people while I'm there at the trunk show talking to them, so that I can walk out of the trunk show and have one or two new trunk shows booked to kind of like replace the one that I did just then. So that's another way to be really efficient. Ellen, do you have any questions? Or like ideas of, or not questions, either questions or thoughts of things that you want to learn more about for future topics?
I have one question and one topic suggestion.
Awesome.
The topic suggestion, I was thinking, so like when you're actually at a trunk show, like what are some, like I know there's material already on this, but like what are some recommendations that you guys have had? Because I think I tend to gravitate more towards the tips and tricks that are tried and true. So things that you've done that you know are successful, I tend to kind of listen to those more rather than like what I see in the starter kit pamphlet. And it's not a knock on the material, but it's like it's like a flattery by imitation, right? So you're kind of modeling after the people that are on your team. So kind of understanding what's worked for you would be good, and then also refreshing up on the basics of like setting your goal for that trunk show, trying to be more efficient at that trunk show. What is it that you want to walk out of? So things like that, because I have 5 now lined up, and I'm kind of like
That's awesome.
You're amazing.
so I have an idea of like what I want to do, and I need to put the pen to the paper on, making sure that I'm ready for it and kind of maximizing the opportunity, because I don't want to walk out of it thinking, oh, well, I should have done this, I should have done that. So I kind of, and I'm also the type of person, I'm like, I have to be ready and I need to like set everything, the way that it is so that it's, to me, it's successful. So I think that would be helpful to get on a call for that. And then my question was, so I know Charlotte and Jessica we've been doing this for a long time. And one of the things that came across my mind earlier this week was, how do you tread the line of uh, how do you tread the line of your network? Meaning, you don't want to go back to your hostesses all the time to book a trunk show like every week, right? So, what's that balance of, when to reach out after a certain period of time when they did host a trunk show or following up on an order? Because one of my concerns is I don't want to exhaust my personal network that they're like, oh, she's reaching out to me again with like an opportunity to buy something from her. Like, I don't want that to happen. And so that's kind of one of the things that's on my mind this week.
Go.
So just the fact, just the one thing to hit on right away, if you feel like you are going to bother them because you're reaching out and they're going to be irritated that you're trying to sell them something, then you're either reaching out incorrectly, or you need to like get it out of your head that you are helping them. So for instance, if I'm going to reach out to someone, I'm going to follow up with them. Let's say I met them at a trunk show with my friend. I'm going to reach out to them, and first and foremost, I'm going to say, did you get your piece? Are you so in love with it? It was so nice to meet you. Did you have such a great time at the trunk show? Like, it's all about them. It's not about you. It's not about anything like that. After the fact, and hopefully, and we'll go through this in the call next week about things you should, like seeds you should be planting at your trunk show and whatnot. But then you kind of follow up, and it's more you're offering them a style session with them and a group of friends that's completely different than who she was with at the initial trunk show you met her at. And she's not going to be buying stuff from you because she's going to get so many hostess rewards that she is going to now accumulate an additional like $300 of free stuff for hosting a trunk show. So it's long-winded long. It's more about how you phrase it and how you have to keep in your mind that we are giving them an opportunity to have a fun girls' night, and you're a customer service person. So you are in charge of making sure their product is fine, making sure they love it, they know how to style it, they know how to wear it. That's been one of my little like tricks when I follow up is, oh my gosh, you bought the Zoe Lariat necklace. Here's a video on, don't forget you can wear it 8 different ways kind of thing. So you're providing a service to them so that they're intrigued and they want to continue reading your email or responding to your text message, because it's not just like, thanks for your order. Oh, when can you host a trunk show? Or like, I don't know, some like weird, icky verbiage. So.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing too, like reaching out and asking them, how did their order come? Was it everything that they expected? I also think it's partly a mental thing in my mind where I'm so comfortable with what I do in my day job. This is essentially uncharted territory for me, so I'm still learning a lot and stepping out of my comfort zone. So I think it's also a case of paranoia that I just need to wipe out and just, like you said, I'm providing a service in addition to something that they're buying. So it's just changing that mindset too, that I probably have to, I can only do it.
Well, and you're going to get the like random, bitchy customer or like weird person that, for some reason responds back, like doesn't read your email and responds back like, why are you reaching out to me? You're going to get these like weird people sometimes, and I still do. And it's kind of like a punch in the gut, because it's like, no, I was trying to help you. Like, why are you getting mad at me or like saying like weird things to me? You just have to let it roll off your back and realize that for every one like weird response you get, you're helping and being awesome to so many more people. You know what I mean?
Majority of people are always going to like appreciate it and see it as added value versus those like few, cranky people.
Well, and even the example, so Charlotte is like pseudo rep for our skincare line ever, like just for the discount really. But she followed up with me because I had a birthday coupon this month. And I don't get the customer service that I provide ever. And so the fact that Charlotte reached out and was like, hey, you have a $30 coupon. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need more eye cream. Like, thank you.
Literally, and this was the level of effort. Forward email. Hey, FYI, happy birthday.
Right. But the fact that like I didn't even remember seeing that email, it's like something like that where when you receive the customer service that you're giving, that makes you realize, oh my gosh, that was really helpful. So if you're messaging someone about a sale, or, you know, you randomly remember that this girl liked this necklace and you know that it's going to be sold out soon and it won't come back in stock for 4 months, reaching out and making sure they're reminded of that, you know, even if they don't end up ordering through you, just the fact that they're like, oh, that was really nice that she remembered that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you're building relationships with these customers where it's not going to be an annoyance. You're going to be high up on their list of thankful people to have, you know?
But then the other piece of that too is like, we are going to get kicked off in a second, just FYI. But with those 5 style sessions that you have booked, that's going to be introducing you to 50 new people also. So that it's that balance between changing your mindset, coming from a place of service, and then when you are getting in front of new people all the time by doing the in-home style sessions, you don't feel like you have to reach out to the same people all the time, because even though you're a new stylist now, all of a sudden your network is just going to grow and grow and grow, and you're going to have plenty of people to reach out to. Okay. So that'll help too. All right, well, I'm going to like cap us off there because Zoom kicks us off when you have the free version. But thank you so much for taking the time to hop on. It looks like Jessica had to hop off. But for anyone who, you know, is still with us on the recording too, you rock for listening for the whole time. And I can't wait to help everybody earn a lot of money this year. Let's do it. Bye, everyone.